I found like what's my situation. Sitting down with a guitar works like some of the time, but usually if I go walking or running, like jogging, or, you know, if I'm doing something where there's a rhythm involved, like walking, I'll go out and walk like 5 miles, and then that's where I come up with ideas. I've always been that way. I remember playing soccer in high school and running, and I would just have all these song ideas in my head. You know, that's where I get them, like that when that rhythm's going.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of a spot I come up with a lot of ideas.
Now, do you write, like, I know you as a writer, so I'm just going to go ahead and say you are the feel-good, fun writer. Almost all of your songs are very fun and energetic, major key. And
major key.
You're just having a good time. You don't really tap into your dark days all that often.
Well, funny you should say that. Well, like the song "Enjoying Myself," that was a minor key, but
right.
Most reggae is all minor, has a minor. But so I took off. So I just said this winter was like it. I like set myself up so I just be here all through this winter. I'm pretty much to the point right now where I'm like, because if you're in upstate New York, you know this has been crazy. It's winter. I was riding motorcycle last week, then shoveling the week before, motorcycle the week. It's just been nuts. So I've been in the house, and now I'm kind of getting like way deep inside my head. And I specifically thought to myself, because I don't know if the word accused is, but I've had other people be like, oh man, your songs are all upbeat and fun and this and that. You're like, you should dig way deep. And I'm like, oh, I've tried, but you know, this is what comes out. And so as of late, I did go through some like old lyric books and stuff, and you know, found some more journal kind of stuff that wasn't meant to be song lyrics. And so I'm kind of digging into that, you know, kind of like looking a little deeper inside of myself and letting it go. And I think maybe that's, for me, it's an age thing where I've just, you know, you go through life and you start figuring out what makes your life easy, and the way you do things and the way you look at things and the way you interact with people, and start looking at yourself more. And I'm like, wow, there's a lot of stuff in there that I hadn't really, you know, thought about tapping into. But yeah, that's currently
there's
where
also,
my head's been at.
I mean, when you're doing songs where you are digging deep and you're kind of going into those vulnerable spaces, you're eventually also aware that somebody's going to push play out in the general public, and they're going to hear your very intimate thoughts that you're having inside this room by yourself. And you don't necessarily want to give that to people sometimes.
And I think that's a lot of what subconsciously held me back from doing that. I mean, I definitely did it, but I just was always, you know, waking up every day looking at the bright side of stuff. Not that I'm looking at the negative stuff, but I'm like, all right, you know, like if I did write a love song or a breakup song, it was more in a happy vibe.
For example, let's say you go through a terrible breakup. You wouldn't write a song about how sad you are in the breakup. You would write a song about, the title might be Better Off. And you're going to be like, you know, today the sun was shining and I realized today I'm better off than yesterday. And you would write a song like that.
Yeah, that's pretty much been my style for sure.
You know, geez, I'm trying to talk myself off the ledge here. You just take a different approach.
Yeah. And I like, you know, I've always wanted to make people feel good, you know? And so I think that's definitely why I wrote so much positive stuff. But yeah, it's interesting when you look inside, you can really come up with a lot of stuff that might feel dark to you and feel like you don't want to expose that to people. But in the same sense, we as listeners, we relate to that stuff. Like, you'll connect with people. You're saying what they're feeling, and, you know, so I've been wrapping my head around that. Just like, let it go. Just let it go. Who's gonna notice 100 years from now?
And we won't be around to care.